and welcome to Sales Talks with HCRM. So today we have with us Dr. Vijay Chaudhry. Dr. Vijay Chaudhry is a professional with over 30 years of experience in managing entire business value chain of global operations including international subsidiaries in China, Brazil, Malaysia, Africa, and responsible for P&L management, finance and commercial, and administration and HR. Dr. Vijay also has an ability to guide, direct, and influence the activities of senior management group in working together towards the organization's objectives and goals. We welcome you, Mr. Vijay, in Sales Talks. So, how are you
Thank you
feeling
very
today?
much. Good. I'm honored to be in this platform, Ria. I mean, it's an honor to me.
Yeah, right. So now this is a very short and sweet introduction of yours. So of course you have done a lot of things. Also you have a 30 years of huge experience. So I want to know from you that, how was your initial journey?
Uh, Ria, after graduating in mechanical engineering and doing advanced diploma in marketing from All India Management Association, I started my career with a company called KG Khosla Compressors.
Okay.
Mr. KG Khosla was a person who introduced compressors in India. And, I was working there as application engineer. So my journey started as application engineer. So a lot of technicalities used to be involved, new application development for screw compressors and screw compressor-based chillers. Um, Developing business was, become one of the habit there.
Right.
However, the major inning was with, Thermax Limited when I joined them in 1995. If you know about Thermax, it's a global leader in energy and environment field.
Right.
That was the place where I grew from sales engineer to a strategic business unit head and general manager of their air pollution control business. I started my journey as sales engineers, and in 22 years, I ended that with general manager and strategic business unit head of the business. Built up business from probably 1 or 2 million US dollar to 100 million US dollar business. I have seen all the crest and valleys of the business as to how people behave when the business is going up, how people behave
Right.
when the business is going down. There has been a lot of challenges in the business, and I have passed through that journey. In Thermex, I was taking care of 3 performance units that was in product business, EPC business, and there was a growth unit called spares and service business units. All put together, it was about 600 crore plus business. Then we did a lot of things in Thermax with regards to sustaining the business, growing the business, de-risking the existing business, talking about addressing the volatility in the business,
Right.
listing out all the problems which can cause vulnerability to a business, and then, addressing those things. Thereafter, I joined a company in 2017 called Bry-Air Asia, executive vice president of the company, and grew now to a president of the company for the global business. I'm taking care of all their subsidiaries, international business, and then 2 other businesses are also on my fortes. One is the chemical filtration business. We typically call it gas phase filtration business. And then another new business which we are coming up with, atmospheric water generator business.
Okay.
That means we will create a drinking water from the air. So that's the magic box. This
Oh,
business is
okay.
going to be launched very soon. Probably next month, we would be launching that business.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so there were
Yeah.
a lot of interesting things in this company. This company is known for its innovation, already 160 patents We have filed out of 160, uh, more than 60 patents have already been granted to us. This is all about my professional journey. And if I could achieve all this in my 30 years of span, I must give credit to my wife, Aarti, who is a senior government official, and my mother, who gave me all unconditional support and love. Uh,
Wow.
I'm also blessed with the, and proud father of two decent and well-educated, well-traveled two sons. Both are Niftians. They are into
Oh,
fashion
okay.
industry. Okay.
Nice.
So, and in young age, they have built a very good brand called Hunar Gali, a
Okay.
small startup with a purpose of uplifting hundred thousands of artisans of India. So that's about me and my personal life. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's interesting. So, so were you from an engineering background?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I'm a
since
mechanical engineer. Yeah.
okay, so how come then, since you are a mechanical engineer, then how come you switched to sales? Like, why sales?
See, sales is a field, I would say, which would uh, make you a very good human, I would say.
Right.
Uh, you need to be a passionate guy. You need to be meeting a lot of people. You need
Yes.
to be evaluating a lot of people behavior, attitude, and dealing with many heads and moods, you
Right.
know. So that makes you a very flexible, open mind kind of a person. And
You
that is what
always, yeah, you always need to be on your toes.
you
Like,
always need to be on your toes. Yes. If you don't want to work, there's no work. But if
right.
you really want to create business, you want to build businesses, there is so much is to be done in
Yeah.
India.
True.
I mean, sky is the limit.
Yes. Right. That's right. So, you know, when you started your journey with sales, so was there any challenges that you faced?
Oh, yes, many challenges were there. If you personally ask me, the initial journey was very, very tough, very, very tough.
Right.
Uh, the mostly for engineers or professionals, the initial 10 years are, it's a journey when you need to be in a learning mode. And
Right.
everybody in corporate life would like you to be not you, but anything else. Everybody would keep you giving feedbacks, and the processes of, appraisals and feedbacks
Right.
would force you to be not to be you, but somebody else. And if you'll get into that fray, you will always have mask on your face. You cannot be real you. And therefore, I never wanted to be a professional like that. I call all those professionals as snollygosters of corporate life or corporate slaves. They really stop thinking this. They forget themselves and stop doing certain things which are very much important for a professional or for a human to do.
Right.
So I was also not very different. I had to pass through that journey, and learn out of that, normalize my thinking process, broaden up my thinking process, uh, uh, to become a good professional. So if you look at the challenges one has to face was, first was, you have to be away from your family because you have to travel a lot.
Right. Yes.
So that was a very
I
big
agree.
challenge. One has to sacrifice. There is no family life, if you personally ask me. So you really have to, uh, build an ecosystem around you at your home so that everybody is aligned to the goal what you have set for you. And at that time in 1995, we never had, internet, laptops, and other
Right.
things. The once we used to go on tour, we need to be planned it so well because there was no ATMs,
Right.
and other things,
Yeah.
or credit cards or stuff like that. You need to be having a full plan, financial planning of your tours,
Yes.
and get the advance. And if you want to talk to your office once you are on tour, you will have to be in STD lines at that time. There was no phone calls. There was no mobile phones and other things, or Zoom facilities.
Yeah.
So it was a very challenging time we had
Right.
to go through. We had passed through that journey. Rather, we have seen that journey where, for typing one offer, we used to have fleet of secretaries and typists with us, as compared to what we have laptops and we can do anything at
Right.
our own. So there were very different challenges. Then, the access to information and the global market was not that easy. There was
Right.
no Google at that time. So you really will have to have a sniffing nose with you,
Right.
so that you can sniff business. So building business, coverage, getting information in time, the whole thing was a big challenge.
Right.
Nowadays, the information is on the click of the button and you can really do many things.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah,
So, any example or any experience you can remember?
many examples.
Can you please share it? Share one example with us.
Yeah. See, if you personally ask me, Ria, the Rome was, as somebody said, no, Rome was not built overnight. One has to
Right.
really give his blood, sweat, and the passion
Right.
what you want to do. So, since I started my career as an application engineer, so building a business was always, focusing on what is there in your hand, how do you sustain that, and look for the emerging opportunities. I
Right.
have always been working on, some of the new things, like any operating guy, if he would regret a business, I would be the first guy to take reins in my hands and see as to why can't we do certain things. So a shift from why to why not, and
Right.
then that kind of a mindset, and then start doing new things for the business. Like, I will tell you, the first big order which I picked up was from OCFL, that is Oswald Chemical and Fertilizers
Okay.
Industries. Way back in 1998, that was an order of 8 crores. That was the first flue gas
Wow.
desulfurization plant for a fertilizer, for a DAP, that is diammonium phosphate fertilizer plant, where we never had technology. So
Right.
I talked to customer that, I don't have technology, but I'm very much interested to do this business. Then customer itself, once you have that relationship in place, customer guided me that why don't you talk to an American company called Swamco, and they will give you the technology, and if you can really tie up with them and execute this job for us. uh, we went to US, we talked to Swamco, we had a technical collaboration with them, and then we executed this job. Otherwise, that was a lost case for us.
Right. So that was your professional achievement, like
That was a professional
first sale.
first professional achievement of
Yeah.
mine, when nothing is
Right.
in your hand, and as to
Right.
how relationship can help you out.
Right.
Then, likewise, there were many other jobs, like for Hindustan Zinc. They wanted to have a flue gas desulfurization plant based on zinc oxide. And in the world, there was no plant of such kind, because we never had that kind of information. At that time, when I talked to customer, that this is the kind of company we are, and if you can really suggest us where we should head for technology, and we can really execute that job. They told me about another company called Mesco in Japan, and we brought the technology to India.
Mm.
Likewise, many things, I typically would say, Ria, that, a salesman must have a quality and an eye to understand the latent needs of customer. The
Right.
moment you would understand the latent need, you can develop the product for that. You are having a solution for the problem which customers are facing but not able to speak.
Right.
And if you can create a product for that, the initial stage, it would be a challenge, but once you do it, you pass through that journey, then it's a big market before you, and that's how you make money.
Right. So, since you were from a mechanical engineering background, then I'm sure you have faced one challenge, that is lead generation.
Yeah.
So how was it? Was it really a challenge for you? Like how to, how you have created the base, or maybe how lead generation can? Because nowadays, what happens? Lead generation is where we stuck,
Yeah.
right? So, abhi, how to do it?
See,
Generally, वो समझ
so
नहीं आता है. So,
right.
and of course, these 30 years before, it is a challenge.
Yeah.
So, can you please tell us something about that?
30 years before or now?
Both.
Okay. 30 years before, it was real challenge.
Right.
Real challenge, because the only mode of communication was, telex at that time. And you never, or maybe IST, there was no other, media wherein you can have access to the information. Or, so I remember, I was there with Thermax, and I spent about 2 years with business development and integrated marketing group in Thermax, about 2 to 3 years. At that time, lead generation used to be a very big challenge. We
Right.
used to go to the financial institutions to get the list of the companies who have got the loan from financial institutions. We so that anybody who would be having loan, he would be definitely going for the new project, and
Right.
that's how we used to get the leads. We used to get the financial banks like SIDB, and the people who are approaching to SIDB for the new projects. We used
Right.
to go to the consultants who used to be uh, making the detailed feasibility report for customers.
Right.
So we used to get the list of that from those guys. We used to be, participating in exhibitions, or maybe closed room seminars with consultants. So that is
Right.
where, or, in Thermax, we used to be also going to the IBR offices. IBR is, that is Indian Boiler Regulation Office, wherein the people, anybody who is putting up a new boiler, he has to get himself registered or get IBR approval. So, or maybe the list of the people who have got approval for the land, or who have got approval for the electricity, or who has got the approval for from the environment ministry. So we used to coordinate and network a lot with such kind of organizations and associations to generate leads.
Right.
Okay. It was a very difficult time, not an easy task.
Right. Right.
Nowadays, you have search engines, you have social medias, like,
Yeah.
if you
LinkedIn
talk
and
about,
all. Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you will talk about these days, you have, lead feeder, uh, uh, facilities and companies. You have HubSpot. You can
Right.
do webinars. You can have search engine optimization of Google Analytics, like
Yes.
Universal Analytics or Console, or
Yes.
now a GA4 would come in
Right.
Google. So you can promote yourself on social media and Instagrams or FB or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good platform of professionals where you can,
Yes.
talk to different professionals, You
Right.
can have a customer experience showrooms based on, metaphors. So there are many ways and means to generate leads. You can be on digital platforms like Amazon or stuff like that. So
Right.
uh, there are many facilities now to generate leads, and the work is much easier. And
Right.
the work is much easier, and therefore there is an intensity in competition also.
Agreed. Yeah. So, as you rightly said, that you also have experience in international, like globally.
Yeah,
Like you went to some of the countries, like Brazil, Malaysia, or US, maybe. So, what is the difference between difference of sales, like majorly? How it is different, like to sell in India and to sell globally? So, is there any difference, or
huge,
how is it?
huge difference. Huge difference, but the basics remain same. See, if you look at, the customer would look at two to three things all over the world, which is same if you go anywhere. First
Right.
is the consistency in the quality which you provide.
Right.
Right. The customer would expect you to give him a quality product and the value proposition. That means if he is buying, there has to be a value of that product.
Right.
No? So, and the superior experience. He should feel respected once he speak with you. So these are
Yes.
the three things. I think these are universally applicable any country, anywhere you go. However, the major difference comes is in the perception of quality and aesthetics. I think the once you go to Europe, their concept of aesthetics are very different than US and South America and India and Asian countries.
Right.
So you need to be having a special curves to your product to look at very decent and a beautiful product. They will never ever compromise on aesthetics, and they will be ready to pay you for that. Then second thing is there is not huge negotiation once you go outside India. People are
Okay.
not habitual of negotiating much, maybe 1 or 2%, 3%, maximum 5% here and there, and you get on to the job. Unlike
Right.
India, where people till the time they will not twist your arms, they will
Right.
not peel your all skin, nothing would
I
happen.
agree. Yes.
So that's how we Indians are. So we must. It's a good thing also, and it has its own pros and cons.
Right.
So that's the basic difference, and the major difference comes is the I would say whatever you say, never ever overcommit in overseas markets. Never ever. They mean it once they value their time a lot, because the man hour cost is very costly over there.
Right.
So once you say that I would deliver in so many weeks or so many months, you must do that.
Right.
Unlike India, where people will give you leeway on that, because
Right.
otherwise also projects would be on delayed path.
Right.
So the project managers generally will have leeway, and they will give you that leeway. But
Right.
once you execute projects or deliver products in international markets, nobody would accept that
Yeah.
you would delay things, you will not
Right.
abide by what have you committed.
Right.
So that is where
So
I think
commitment is important. Like if you
very
say
important.
I will complete the work in 2 months, then you should do that. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Right.
And even if you talk to Koreans, they will even talk about time and hours,
Yeah.
not date only.
Right. Right. Right.
So that is what it is.
Right. So you have been in the industry for over 30 years. So what are the major changes you have seen in the industry? Like if you compare it now and before.
Uh, Ria, if you look at, as I told you earlier, when I started my career, there used to be fleet of stenographers and secretaries or typists to
Right.
make even single page offer to customers. Then we used to have electronic typewriters. Then we had computers and pagers. Then we shifted to laptops and floppies.
Right.
Then floppies to CDs. Then CDs to pen drive. Then pen drives to now we are talking about clouds
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Right.
So the time is changing very fast. If you look at a trend right from the ancient time, from the ice age, if you look at 2.4 or 2.5 million years ago, the ice age was there, which was there for about a few million years, and until, uh, you know, 11,500 years, it was an ice age. Then Stone Age came, which was for about 10,000 years. Then you have agriculture era, which was for about 10,000 years. Then you have an industrial area from 1750, 80. If you look at industrial era, happened for about 100 years. Then in industrial era, if you look at today, we talk about industry 4. The industrial era is divided into 4 parts. That is industrial era 1, when people, when the machinery was started in Britain, and machines and IC engines were started. Then it was converted to automation. Then it
Right.
was converted to information technology. And
Right.
in I4, industry 4.0, we are talking about now artificial intelligence and
Yeah.
IoT,
Right.
wherein we are making the machines very smart. So if you look at the rate of change of the time and the technology, it is becoming so fast that probably human mind may not be able to absorb so many changes.
Right.
Earlier, we used to be talking that there is a generation gap between father and a
And a
son.
son. Yes.
Now, if the two brothers having 4 or 5 years difference will have generation gap. If you look at the people,
Right.
I mean, even the siblings, if they have 4 to 5 years
They have a
gap, I
generation
mean,
gap.
both
Right.
are very different.
Yeah.
So
Agree.
likewise, I think the future is going to be very good. The knowledge will be taken for granted. Even the behaviors can also be genetically changed in new medical science. You can create clones of same behaviors, same body, same face, everything you can have. What is this machine and science will not be able to do as of now is the emotional quotient and the
Right.
skill level, interpersonal skills of human beings. So I think the future will not belong to degrees, certificates, and knowledge, but because that would be taken for granted. You can today go to YouTube and you can learn anything you want.
Yes.
Now with the chat GBT, I mean,
Yeah.
there is no need to do
That's
anything. Actually, you just ask
exactly.
and it will be on your
Yes.
laptop. So what is going to be important today is, which probably machines will never ever be able to do that. I hope so. The science is changing and developing a lot, but the interpersonal skills, problem solving skills,
Right.
generating clarity out of ambiguity, the passion, the curiosity to do something new, and the zeal of human beings to become an alpha person, you know.
Right.
So
Also,
that will never be changed.
yeah. So also there is one more thing, like before, like initially, the meetings used to happen face to face, but now it happened on
Yes.
Zoom or maybe Google Meet or Teams.
Oh,
So that
yes.
is the major one of the differences that, you know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think in the days to come, because of technology in place, only truth will prevail. There will be no place for corruption.
uh,
And therefore, I would say the earth would be heaven, because there will be no rat race. There will be no competition between human beings that who is having more knowledge and stuff like that. But there would be a bigger challenge of who would become a good human. That's the
right.
most difficult task.
Yes.
So
Right.
I think these skill levels and the human should remain human would be a task which people would see in the days to come.
Right, right. So, what motivates you? What is your motivation?
See, I have a very different viewpoint on that,
Hmm.
uh, Ria. I think every professional or individual should move from motivation to willpower. You
Yes,
should be very purposeful in your life. And in order to fulfill that purpose, one should have a very strong will and passion.
yes,
And once you are purposeful in life, then things are very easy.
right,
Otherwise, I see many of the people today, young generation, or there are a lot of myths that, there is no motivation in the company. Our bosses should
right,
motivate us, or companies should motivate us. These are all myth. Nobody can motivate anybody. If you personally ask me, if you don't want to do anything, nobody can motivate you till the time
right,
there is, the internal resonance comes up, and you have a will to do something. And once you have will to do something, you have passion to do something, you will have to go through a tough journey where uh, people would even criticize you, people will lead astray you,
right,
all kind of barriers would be there. And if you do not have willpower, you would somewhere get distracted and change your way. And
right.
therefore, more than motivation, I would give more numbers to willpower and passion. So
Yes,
once you decide a purpose of your life, the things are easier. Most of the time,
right,
the purpose we have is that, everybody would like to be a bit bigger than what his father is. Your
right,
boss of your father will be a hero for you, you know.
right, right,
So if we do not think exponentially, we do not think, to become bigger, we do not dream big. So I think we should go for big dreams. We should have purposeful actions in place. We should have willpower and we should have passion to achieve it. And then
right,
things would be on your lap.
right.
That's
You
how
have
I
to
feel.
basically you have to set a goal and you should
Yes,
achieve it. You have to look towards your goal every day and thinking that yes, I will achieve this year. So
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
So another question, similar to this, maybe, what success means to you?
What?
Success means to you.
See, everybody is having very different meaning of success. But I think initially it's success, the meaning of success would change as you grow.
Right.
Your first success is once you start walking,
Yes.
once you speak first word, that is a success. You feel so
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Once you start running, you feel so good. Once you
Exactly.
first jump, you uh, feel so good. So to me, anything which I today uh, can't do, and if I do, is a success to me.
It's
So
like
success,
coming, yeah, it's like coming out of your comfort zone, maybe is a
yes,
success,
and
right?
anything which gives you pleasure or which gives you new learning and which gives you a new anything. I mean, I would say every day you fail and you success, you
Yes.
get success.
Absolutely.
You tend to learn something which you have never done in the past. So you need to be feeling cheerful for that. You need to be celebrating that. And if the failure is also there, that also to be celebrated. So
Right.
I think every moment is of life is to be enjoyed, you know,
Yes.
without forgetting your ultimate purpose.
Right. Yes. So, what is that one advice you would like to give to the newbies entering to the sales industry?
Yeah, I have been taking a lot of interviews of youngsters these days. Probably I would have taken in 30 years about 10,000 interviews of different professionals, different people. When I ask them, um, what is their aspiration? Everybody would like to say, I would like to become something. I would like to become, or their heroes are Ambanis or blah, blah, blah. They would talk about to become something. I think that's very wrong. Once you aspire for
Right.
position, uh, you get into certain activities which are unsolicited for human beings.
Right.
I think the aspirations should be for the purpose and not for the position. You should aspire for a purpose. How I can contribute probably India to become a developed country, or how I can contribute to make my company few $1 billion company, or how I can contribute to make my family uh, uh, values and ethos, and how I can uplift the thinking pattern of my family, how I can
Right.
uplift the uh, my family's uh, day-to-day life. How, I mean, their purpose could be anything. But
Right.
if you take position, the bad part of that is you have a lot of ego then, and
Yeah.
that ego will take you down.
Right.
So my only one line to all the youngster is always aspire for a purpose, not for the position. And rest
Right.
of the things, money, blah 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 blah, are the resultant once you will talk about purpose. And that
Yes.
would start from the
Absolutely.
way you think. If you will keep thinking in the same way, you cannot rise in your life.
Right.
So aspire for the purpose and not for the position. So always be purposeful and take purposeful actions, nothing
Right.
else. And the life is very simple otherwise.
Yes. That's
No need to
amazing.
compete with others.
Right. That's beautiful. So, lastly, any quote that summarizes your journey in the sales industry?
Uh, See, it is the quote I would say is always try to find your unique you and be yourself all the time. No
Yes.
need to imitate anybody in life. I
Right.
am dead against, people say these are my role models, blah, 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 because we look at their life, luxurious life or stuff like that. We do not look at the painful journey they have gone
They
through.
had. Right.
So always try to find out what is that unique you and remain or build on that unique you is the quote which would define me, I would say. I am what I am.
Yes. Always believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. Yes.
Yes. So, wow, that's a amazing journey you shared with us. So, thank you so much once again for coming in here and sharing your beautiful journey with us. And thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Thank you, Ria. So nice of you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I'm humbled and honored to be part of this platform. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.